is wrong with you? Honestly.
That is police brutality. They are hitting that observer. They are kicking them in the face.
All right, let's get right into this one. It's something in the water in Minnesota. Obviously, a lot is going on. Another person has been killed by ICE agents. Now, before we jump off the roof and say this is another Renee Good, let's kind of get into what happened. So this is 37-year-old ICU nurse. His name is Alex Pretti. So 37-year-old, he's a U.S. citizen who apparently jumped in to help a woman who ICE agents had attacked and pepper sprayed. We don't have the full information yet, but they're saying that the video contradicts the administration's account.
We have now confirmed that the man who was shot was ICU nurse Alex Pretti, and that is confirmed by his parents. And to his parents, I am so sorry for your loss. Regardless of the circumstances, to lose a child is the most horrific thing. But we can now confirm that the victim who was shot in this situation was Alex Pretti, an ICU nurse from Minneapolis, an American citizen, according to Chief Brian O'Hara.
I also want to say one more thing, because it is our duty to tell the truth, however we see it, right? And journalists get painted in many different lights these days. And I'll say this. What Commander Bavino said in his press conference and in the press release was that it appeared, according to DHS, that this man, what was his name?
Alex Pretti.
Pretti. Came there intending to harm officers. We have a picture of him. And the video shows him directing traffic. The next part of the video shows him trying to help a woman who got shoved by an officer and then resisting his own, I guess, detainment, if you will, and being sprayed in the face with pepper spray. The video does not appear to back up that statement.
You have not seen in the angles
None of us
that
have.
you have watched that he seemed to be threatening law enforcement.
And he may have been, I don't know, I have no clue.
Sure,
we can't
don't
prove any of that. But what I'm saying, the video shows a man directing traffic, helping a woman, and then sort of resisting his own detainment. That's what it shows.
And now we are seeing this man right here, Alex Pretti. We are told by his parents that he was an ICU nurse. We don't know where he was an ICU nurse, but he is a Minneapolis resident.
For whatever reason in Minnesota, obviously there's been a ton of things going on as far as the fraud in that state and then the ICE activity before Renee Good and after. I think that I've talked about how the administration, I think ICE, especially in Minnesota right now, is just probably a little heavy-handed, and I think needs to be done a little more covertly, but I think we're past that point. We got to get to a point where everybody who's trying to protest are not getting into clashes with ICE every single day. It seems like every single day there's a new story about someone getting into it with ICE. Even last week I saw a guy who was pepper sprayed, who was, I think, now blind in one eye because he was pepper sprayed. So ICE is heavy-handed. I think that the protesters in some cases are being heavy-handed on the other side and provoking some of these things to happen too. So it's becoming something where I'm starting to question how many illegal aliens are they actually arresting in Minnesota versus the chaos? Does the ends justify the means? Now, from the video, I'm going to go back again. I don't know. It's hard to tell because it looks like there's about 4 or 5 ICE agents around him. ICE agents are not necessarily, they don't seem to be trained on de-escalation in any way, right? They're definitely moving in a heavy-handed way when it comes to dealing with anybody who's observing, resisting, protesting, whatever you want to call it. They are definitely not moving in the way of de-escalation. But I don't know. At the same time, you look at this guy, Alex Pretti, who he did have a 9mm on him. I don't really know what was going on prior to this. So let me take another look at this. So it looks like they have him on the ground here. They're trying to arrest him. They say he's resisting. It's about, what, 5? Looks like it's 5 ICE agents, if I see it right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. And they're hitting him. You see them hitting him and punching him. Somebody shot right there, so I can't tell what ICE agent shot. And there's a few shots. Now that doesn't appear to come from Alex Petty, but it looks like the ICE agents, somebody shot him and then moved back. So maybe they saw that he had a gun at that point and decided to shoot. I really don't know. But it's definitely something that this is just a hotbed of chaos in Minneapolis, right? So we're going to see what happens. Let me go over to Christine Nome, of course. Just as Renee Good, they kind of immediately had the story as far as saying that the citizen was the one at fault.
Because video appears to show he's disarmed before shots are fired. So I just want clarity on that. And beyond that, I just want to follow up and ask who within the federal government is leading the criminal investigation, understanding that CBP OPR has opened up an internal investigation. And beyond that, why did federal agents tell Minneapolis Police Department to leave the scene?
We're continuing to follow the exact same protocols that we always have. And so this investigation is ongoing. We're continuing to gather the facts as they unfold throughout that. And we'll do it just like we did under the entire Trump administration and previous administrations. Nothing has changed, and we'll continue to release details as we have them. But I want you to not distract away from the facts of this situation. Our law enforcement officers were there doing a targeted operation against an individual who was in this country illegally and had a criminal conviction for domestic assault with intent to do bodily harm and other convictions as well. This individual went and impeded their law enforcement operations, attacked those officers, had a weapon on him and dozens of rounds of ammunition, wishing to inflict harm on these officers, brandishing like that and impeding their work that they were doing. We'll continue to allow. That is a different incident that happened at the same situation after.
Yeah, so it looks like Minneapolis, obviously part of Minnesota, allows open carry of handguns for individuals with a valid permit to carry or a recognized permit from another state. Minnesota is not a constitutional permitless carry state. Therefore, a permit is required to openly carry a handgun in public. The law does not differentiate between open and concealed carry, right? So this is something we're going to have to look at. Obviously this guy had a gun, doesn't mean he had, harmful intent towards the ICE officers, but we're going to have to figure this out. And I think that this is going to make Minnesota not cool down anytime soon. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think it's another killing that ICE did against a citizen that didn't have to happen? Or do you think that that Alex Pretti came there with bad intent? Let's find out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Crucial comment.